Lesson 20. Model 1 more, less, 10 more, 10 less, and 100 more, 100 less, involving numbers such as 399, 900, etc. So let's look at Lesson 20's homework. It says, fill in the blanks. Whisper the complete sentence. So I'm going to use some of the skills that we've already learned in these videos and in class to complete this work. And I'm going to work every other problem. So I'm going to work A, C, E, and G. Let's start with A. 1 less than 160 is blank. So I know I'm going to be working in the ones place, but it says 1 less than 160 is blank. You can either use a number line or count back from 160. So 160, take away 1 would give me 159, or I can set up my problem. 160 minus 1, 1 less than 160 equals, and I'm looking for the answer. If I plug in 159, this answer is correct. Let's move to part C. 100 less than 425 is. I know I'm going to be working in the hundreds place, and if I take away 100 from this number, I will get 325. Or I can use another method and set up my problem. 425 minus 100. 100 less than 425 equals, and if I plug in my answer, 425 minus 100 is 325. It is right. Part E. Blank more than 691 is 601. The numbers in the hundreds place stay the same. The tens place are different. The ones place are the same. Well, if I look at this number, blank more than 691 is 601. Well, that doesn't make any sense. So this is actually a typo error, and if your paper is correct already, then that is great. If not, you want to cross it out and put 701 in its place so that it makes better sense. So let's erase these checks because we're no longer working with this number. I'm going to cross this out again, pretend like it's not there, and I'm going to check again. I see that my hundreds place is not matching up. I have 600s and 700s. I see that my tens place is not lined up. I have 9 tens and 0 tens. And our ones places are matching up. So actually what's changing is the hundreds in the tens place, or we can just call it so many tens. I had 69 tens, and I'm trying to get to 70 tens. Well, 69 plus 1 more 10 will give me 70 tens. But if I set up my problem, 10 more than 691 is equal to 701, and this does make sense. So 10 is the right answer. Let's look at part G. 100 less than blank equals 986. So let's look at it. I want to change this number by the hundreds, and this number is going to be 100 less than the next number. So let's set up our problem. 986 equals 100 less than this number. Or I can write it like this. Blank minus 100 will give me 986. 100 less than this unknown number will give me 986. Well, I want to change the number in the hundreds place because I'm looking at 100 less than this number. And we know that this number needs to be more than this one. So if I have 9 tens, I need 900s, I need to have 10 hundreds, 10 hundreds, 8 tens, and 6 ones. Let's see. 10 hundreds, 8 tens, 6 ones is 100 less, minus 100, equals 9 hundreds, 8 tens, and 6 ones. And if you plug this in, your answer is the same both ways. So you want to plug in 10 hundreds, 8 tens, 6 ones, or 1086 as your answer. You're going to complete the other problems, and I want you to turn to the back side of the page. Number 2, count the numbers aloud to a parent. I'm going to do letters A and C as an example, and I'm going to write down my numbers as I'm counting by the number that it tells me to skip count. It says count by ones from 204 to 212. So I'm going to start with 204 and I'm counting by ones. So 204, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 210, 211, 212. I started at 204 and I stopped at 212. Part C, we need to skip count by tens from 582 to 632. Remember, I'm counting by tens. So 10 more than 582 is 592. Then 602. I had 58 tens, 59 tens, 60 tens, 61 tens, 62 tens, 63 tens. If I notice, my number in my ones place is not changing. It will stay the same. Only my numbers of tens will change. Let's look at the bottom. I'm going to call this number 3. Henry enjoys watching his pet frog hop. Each time his frog hops, Henry skip counts backwards by 100. So he's going to be counting backwards or counting back by hundreds. He starts his first count at 815. How many times does this frog have to jump to get to 15? So this is our ending. We want to get to 15, but we need to first count back by 100 each time to get to 15. So if he starts at 815, I'm going to count back by 100, 715, 615, 515, 415, 315, 215, 115, and 15. So it wants to know how many times does he have to jump to get to 15. He jumped once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, and of course we always want to write a complete sentence to answer the question. So how many times does his frog have to jump to get to 15? We're going to write our complete sentence to answer it. Henry's frog has to jump 8 times to reach the number 15.